We're back with the Silvia S13, this time upgraded from C3 to C4. On the left is our beginner-friendly C3 build. On the right is today's C4 setup. We dropped the weight, added power where it actually counts, giving it more flow through transitions. It's a step up in skill, but still built on a reasonable budget. And to show it's not just theory, here's a full elite race on hard with the C4. The trick with elite races is knowing how the scoring works. It's not about speed, it's more about angle. The more angle you hold, the higher your score, and reverse entries can even count as bonus points. Horsepower doesn't matter as much here either, so a lighter car with less power can still win, being it's easier to control. The online joking events are a bit different. There are no bonus points for backwards entries. It's all about keeping the speed up to increase the multiplier, use clean transitions, and stay sideways the whole way through. That's why most of the top leaderboard cars are heavier with more horsepower. You compare those with Sport or Sport Plus tires to keep the wheel speed up, whereas street tires like this one work fine on the elite races. For clarity, before we break down the build, this Silvia isn't chasing speed. It's lighter, runs less horsepower, and stays easy to control. That balance is why it clears elite races so effectively. If you remember the C3 build, it was super simple. The C4 stays simple too. Almost all racing parts except the lower block, which we've upgraded to Ultimate. We also mentioned in the C3 build that CarX rates car class on a power to weight ratio, so parts like camshafts that add high-end torque get read as extra horsepower and can push the car into C5. By using the Ultimate lower block instead, you gain torque down low without inflating the class. For the drivetrain, we kept things straightforward, upgraded to a racing clutch for quicker shifts, kept the racing transmission so we can tune the gears, stayed with the sport welded diff so we can bypass the tuning, and we kept it rear-wheel drive just like before. For the body, we stepped it up with elite weight reduction for quicker response, a heavier fuel tank to lower the center of gravity, and racing aero up front. We kept the rear aero stock to hold that neutral balance. For suspension, we kept the same Ultimate arms from the C3 build, giving us full tuning flexibility. Up front, we're still running the no-stab anti-roll bars for maximum angle, while the rear has been upgraded to racing bars for added stability. We upgraded to racing brakes, springs are racing in the front and rear to balance stiffness, and we rounded it out with sport dampers on all four corners, which is a cost-effective way to tighten control without overspending. For the next section, we stayed with the Ultimate spacers to keep a wide stance. We stepped it up to 19-inch wheels. It's a simple upgrade, but it gives the S13 more stability and sharper control throughout transitions. For tuning, we've got the rev limiter sitting at 8100 RPM. Turbine pressure is maxed out to keep boost consistent. Peak RPM is set just above the limiter, not too far so the power stays usable without throwing the curve off. Torque at high and torque at low are both maxed out. This way the Silvia pulls strong no matter where you're at in the rev range. For the transmission, we kept the same approach as the C3, a higher final drive to stay in the torque band. With more horsepower now, we stretched the gears 1 through 5 a bit so the car doesn't spin out too quickly and has room to pull through longer drifts. The welded diff keeps it simple, locked and consistent, no fine tuning needed. For the body, the elite weight reduction allows us to drop the overall weight. We kept the distribution and center of mass at stock values to keep things simple. Up front, downforce is maxed, air resistance minimized, and with no rear aero installed, there's nothing to adjust in the back. For suspension, we kept the same philosophy as the C3, stiffer and taller up front, softer in the rear for balance. Cambers at -8 up front with caster at 8 as well. The Ackerman dropped to 75. Remember that number shifts depending on your controller and assist settings, so we'll drop ours in the description. Steering angle is maxed out, toe set at -0.35. On the rear, the springs are softer, camber at -5, and toe at -0.16. Nothing to tweak on the sport damper, so we left those alone. Tires are simple, pressure maxed out front and rear, offsets adjusted to match the body kit with a wider front track and more narrow on the rear. It's more refined than the C3, but still easy to control. The C5 build will take it one step further.